Afternoon, Jules here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. Welcome to my channel. So it's another Tuesday, so it's a take and create, and we've got it's a folio from using the Dragonfly, the monthly subscribers, one of the monthly subscribers papers. So we've got a folio with a spine, a tag and a pocket. I have printed on the back, and this is a sneak preview of my Flower of Scotland digital that's coming out. So I didn't intend printing that. I intended printing a coffee dyed digital on the back, but I put it on my printer. I'm waffling again, and went away, cooked the tea, come back this morning, went to print out the Flower of Scotland digital to do my videos, and that was on the top. So you've got a sneak preview. So as again, take and create, it's a freebie on my Ko-fi shop. If you go to the description below the video and look for the link for my Ko-fi, go into the shop, and it's under take and create, and just look down and you'll see it, and it's the Dragonfly folio. So with the magic of editing, I'm going to go away now and I'm going to cut this out. I'll just be a couple of seconds to you, but of course to me it's going to take a little bit longer, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. So I've cut it out. I've actually, there's two white lines, and I've scored down these white lines. So we've got a nice little spine. And you can see there's some white there, so you can ink that up. And just move my phone out the way. My husband phoned me up a little bit earlier, so he always video calls me when I'm busy. I just stop my videos. Right, so I think we're going to use Friar Brown with the Harmony Spectrum Noir, because it's more of a kind of a vintage photo, an orangey brown. That's better. And it would look nice with black ink round, or really dark brown ink as well, this. So what I want to do with this is I want to put some coffee dyed paper, because this is going to go in my Dragonfly journal that I'm going to make, and I'm going to do it as a pocket either in the back of the journal. And these are this is a brilliant size for like popping in your purse. You can do it on, I've done it on I think 200 GSM. If you want, you can print it out, or even back it onto, you know, a harder card. You could use chipboard if you wanted. However, I'm not. Sometimes I'll laminate these, but I'm not going to bother. So, and what I want to do is I want to put some coffee dyed paper in here. Now, have I got any coffee dyed paper? Yes, I've got a load somewhere, but I think it's in my cupboard. So now this, so we'll definitely get that, and then there's some left over. There'll be about that much, so I might be able to, let me have a look. If I fold that in half, that's a bit too short, so I think what we'll have is we'll have some long ones and some some narrow ones and some long ones. So we've got that one. I think we'll have that one as well. That's just where I've been picking up paint. And I think we'll have that one. So I'm just going to do 4. I might do another one, I don't know. I think we'll do 5. That'll give me 10 pages if I just use the larger one. So I'm just measuring this, so it's from just this side of the crease, it's 3.5 inches, and the same there. So what I want is, I want 7. I need to cut it at 6 3/4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in half. And you can put lines on these papers, you can leave them blank. I usually make travel journals. If you follow my Back to Basics, beginner friendly, you'll see we've just done a traveller's notebook, and I was making that for when I go to America towards the end of this year, because I like to document where I've been. I like to keep tickets, and I love doing stuff like that. So we'll have a plain one, and we'll have a plain one, and then we'll have that one. Then we'll have this one. Oh, didn't trim them very well. It's because I've done it the wrong way, isn't it? Which is fine. Just let me trim this off. And that goes in there. Now you can either stitch that in, or you can put it in with a crocodile. I'm not quite sure if I'll get my crocodile on that, but I'm going to try it. And then you'll know if you've got a crocodile, you can use it. It will be the smallest. And I'm just, you've got a gauge so that you get your right. I'm just, that's too far, so I need to loosen it. Oh, that's as far as that will go. Oh, lovely. Right, okay, it's just a guessy. I'll stand up and do this. So I'm using that 3rd spike as my guideline, so I know when I do this one, it needs to be in the middle and to the 3rd spike. Oh, crikey. It's better. Alright, and we will put, and it is set on the smaller one, so we'll put the antique brass, I think, and they've got, sometimes I use these rings, sometimes I don't. What the rings do is they give it a neater edge on the inside, so because it's a folio, course my nails have grown again. It's honestly jewelry. And because these eyelets or grommets are a little bit tight, the grommet stays in, so I can do it upside down like that. And there we are. I've got a nice and if you want, I mean, I'm quite happy with that being 200 GSM. And I'm not going to do the elastic too tight. You can use lace or whatever, but I'm going to put elastic in this. There we are. And then close that up. And I'll get my elastic out. I'm looking for white elastic. Well, I'll have to buy some more elastic, white elastic, so it's gold elastic. So what I'm doing is I am not having it coming down on the outside. I'm just going to bring it in like this. And tie it in a knot. But I am going to pull it a little bit tighter. I may need to strengthen the spine a bit, which I could do. I can put a little strip on there just to stop it. I think that's what we'll do first. So what have I got? Now this is, it bends, it's what I've got from the edge of the end of a pad. I've got quite a lot of this. I've got a little thicker. I think this is 1000 GSM. Right, I have a pencil here, so I think we'll so I'm just gonna, there we are, put it. And that just fits in there like that, and I'm going to stick it down with that glitter glue. Now, I've not used this for a couple of days because I've been away. We were down helping our daughter and son-in-law move into their new house, which was kind of a little bit like a builder's, still a building site when we moved in. They were just doing the finishing touches, and I discovered I'm allergic to construction dust, so my eyes started itching, my skin started going red. I had to go and get antihistamines, and I actually went to my mum's. She only lives about an hour away from my mum, and I intended visiting my mum while I was down there. She's in England. So I went to my mum's and then came back, picked my husband up. Most of the stuff had been done then. Yeah, it was still. And then some of the bits that I've cut off. if you want to. And if you want to stitch round this, stitch round it before you put your grommets in. And then what I'll do is I'll use that just to bend the paper on the edges of the, because it's just a lightweight chipboard, that one I used. Okay, so we're going in, out, and it can still bend it. I mean, nothing's unbendable. We're going to have this up here, I think. All right, just tighten a knot, just right over left, left over right. That's something I learned at guides when I was a kid. But my fingernails are getting in the way. My fingers are getting in the way. And then you don't get a granny knot. If you do it left over right and left over right, you get a granny knot. Not a good thing. So then you've got your that to put there, or if you wanted, you can just put this in the long one like that, and you can use that for other things. You know, if I wanted to put the shorter one in and have a different book, you can do that. You can, if you're collecting things, you can put them round there. I sometimes make a little folder with pockets in, just to put round, like a shorter folder, just to put round. And I think what we'll do is we'll put this pocket in here. Now, does this? Yes. I thought I would have. I just thought for a minute there I might have not done the pocket, the tag's small enough. Now, do I want it on that way? I think that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? No, doesn't matter, I'm going to do it this way. The tag's tartan on both sides anyway, and just a thin and not too near the edge. So I did do the pocket so it was a little bit narrow, because sometimes if you have your pocket too near your edge, it interferes when you're closing. And really we shouldn't be putting the tag in here yet, because the glue is just, so we'll leave the glue. I think what we'll do is we will put a grommet in. we'll use the bigger one. So the crocodiles are 3/16 and a 1/8. So it's the 3/16 I've used, so I need a and we need to change the and then we're going to put a little ring on this one as well. Yep. Put that on, and as I've said before, if you can't get your crocodile to, you know, your tag to hold that little ring, just stick it down with a little tiny dab of glue. And there we are. Oh, here she is. Have you been walkie-walkie? So, she's coming to see. No, hang on, 2 seconds. No. She's telling my husband that I'm in here and have to come and see me. She'll come scratching at the door in a minute. So that should have had time to stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this ruler in just to make sure that the glue has just stuck on the edges and hasn't seeped in. Because when you put the glue down and you press it down, it's obvious the glue's going to seep in. So yeah, you can put that way. Or you can put that way, but I think we're going to put it this way because it is a dragonfly folio. But I quite like the Scottish tartan. I'm quite glad I made that mistake. And we're going to use a little bit of garden twine. Just putting the loop in. Just put that through there and pull it. And what I do like to do with this garden twine, I like to open it up and fray it a bit. But you get knots and everything in garden twine because it's not refined string. It's just for using in the garden, but it makes it a little bit rougher and a little bit fluffier. You can use a comb. Yeah, you can see where I've been pulling bits off. So then I'll just cut that like that. Now it's a little bit slippy. Now if your twine's a little bit slippy, what I tend to do is I tend to put a little bit of glue when I can get it coming out. Because I've been away for a couple of days, my glue's not plain. It's not plain nice. Oh, that was a little bit much, but it doesn't matter. It dries clear. And then I just put that over there like that. And I usually have like a daft little, you know, the little brushy things that you get out of crackers at Christmas. I think one of my granddaughters has maybe been in and seen it and thought, oh, I'll take that home for me doll. It's the same as I had a little screwdriver set and a little tape measure, and my grandson came in and he was like, can I get this, Granny? I need it. I don't know what he needed it for, but he took it home. There we are. Put them in there. And that's sticking nice now. And I think what I'm going to use is I've got some die cuts. Then where's my brown? These are just aqua markers. Cute little eyes. And just wondering if I should do a little bit of pink. Let me see what that's like. I think that's a bit too orangey. Might have a little bit of greeny grey. And the edges. This is only if you want to colour them in. I just like to mess about. It's only a bit of paper. If I don't like it, I can always throw it in the bin or gesso over it, recolour it. So this is grey olive. And obviously because it's got brown ink underneath, it'll go different shades of olive. And this is just a light pale orange. I think we'll leave it at that, and then what I might do is like put a little bit of water on it. One of my brushes has got to have water in it. I always have a brush with water in. Just squeeze it. And then it just blends it in. On that, and we'll just mop that up. And there we are. I'm just going to put a little bit more green, but I'm going to use the brush marker. Just round the tips. Quite like the orange and green. Just a little bit down the body there. Now, I really should dry this off, so I will dry it. And I'm just using one of these. These are just makeup, they're actually nail for decorating nails with. But they're good for getting inside like little bits if you don't want too much, if you just want it round the edges. I think you can buy them in the dollar store, and that just packs of eyeshadow brushes. Brush sponges, I think they're called. Just put a bit more on there. And this isn't a new idea. I saw is it Tracy Fox using these. And there we are. And if you wanted to, you could, you know, elevate that off and have it lifted off, but I'm not. I'm just going to put it on flat. I might put a little bit of Stickles glitter on it, I don't know. Now, before I stick it down, to decide, do I want it that way or do I want it that way? I think I want it that way. Yeah, I quite like that. And where's my Stickles glitter? I did get some new ones. And I don't know what I've done with them. I had some new Stickles glitter that I got from the craft shows that I went to. So I'll not be using Stickles glitter if I can't find it. That's because I don't use it that often. I thought I'd put it in this one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll compromise. And I'll put some glitter on. So what I want is, I want my glue pen. I'm just making sure it's working. I shouldn't really dig that into my hand, should I? Nope, don't think it is. We'll try this one. This is the one that I've used on my... Oh, that's working. The other one must be out. So I'm just going to do some glittery veins. Yeah, that's it, you puff it out. Yeah, silly Billy. Probably spent more time and the glue will have dried. Just get... No, it hasn't. So we'll put that back in there. This is from the Works shop here in the UK. It's £1, which is probably $1.25. So I quite like it. It's mainly white, but it has got the iridescent greens and pinks and things. I've got loads of glitter from my card making days. I shouldn't be doing any more glitter. I can't help it, I buy it. I've got an obsession with glitter. I'm just going to tidy this little bit up. Put these out of the way. And I want something maybe to go on here. But I don't think I want to... I think I want to stamp or something. Throwing them about now, throwing them about. These are just sets that I get from Temu. I just go on looking for stamps, and if I like the look of the stamp, oh there we've got one with a dragonfly on. Buy that many, I forget what I've got. And no, I'll go for the smoky grey, and it's the VersaFine smoky grey, and it's kind of a ticket, so we'll put it here, and there we are. So it's quite a nice we might put one there as well. My poor little dog, she keeps going up and down the stairs. She's looking for my husband. She does the same when I'm out. She goes looking for me as well. She's happiest when we're both in together. They're just pack animals, aren't they? She just likes having us both there. There we are. And if you wanted to put lines on your pages, put some on the inner side ones. So I use a bit of cardboard. In fact, we'll do the plain one. And all I do, I usually use brown, but I'll use the smoky grey. And it's a bit of corrugated cardboard, and I just run the ink along it, and I just press it down. There you are. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a junk journal. Or you can use line paper. I've actually managed to get hold of some old GNR book that had recipes written in it, and dinners must have been on there when they were doing the GNR meals on the trains. It's from the 60s. So it doesn't matter if the lines aren't perfect, you've got a rough idea. And there you are. And then you could do that one. That one there. Put these away. Put this back in there. And there you are. When you come across, you've got a lined page. And if you put lines on that one, see, I like to sketch as well when I'm away. And you can put a fastener on that. You can fasten it with string. You could put another hole in there and put elastic round and fasten it. You can put like a catch, but I don't tend to. I just leave it like that. And then it fits in a journal. Take and create the Tatty Treasures. So there, I would put a pocket in the front of my journal, and I would put like a gusseted pocket so it would fit in, and then that's something I can take away. If you wanted, you could put it on a page. It's entirely up to you. It would fit on a page, but I prefer to put these kind of things just either in the front or the back, but it's entirely up to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember, it's Take and Create. It's a freebie. It's on in my coffee shop now. Just go to the description below the video, look for the coffee shop link. It'll take you straight to my coffee page. Go into the shop and look at the tags, and it's Take and Create, and it's the dragon folio. You don't get these with it, that's just mine, but you get that, you get the pocket, and you get the cover. And I did put a dragonfly. You don't have to, you can leave it like that. You can stamp on it and do what you want. But what I forgot to tell you is we've got a new Facebook group going. I opened it at the beginning of the year. It's Junk Journals at JT Creations. There will be freebies that aren't in my coffee shop. I just put them on the files on the page. So if you, and there will be some for the military, the daisy, the bee, the dragonfly. I've got a fairy journal coming out. They stand alone. If you don't have any of those digital kits, it's fine, absolutely. It'll go in any journal. If you do have them, they will match up with them. So, I'll see you. Bye.